recently watched a video that said 90%, I believe they said 85 to 90% of expats lose their money in Thailand. And I have a story time for you because I know that I know someone that this happened to recently, and we're going to get into it. So let's get into it now. So it was a person, he lives out in Thailand, right? And he had made a video saying that 90% of expats lose their money in Thailand, and here's for this reason. And a friend of mine, well, I used to work with him a long time ago, and we were just recently talking because he's thinking about starting a channel. He didn't even start a YouTube page. He was just out there living as a expat, and yes, he does have a stable income coming in. He does. Military benefits, he does, but he had to leave. He had to recoup because of what was going on out there. He was in Pattaya. Yes, he was. I know you guys saying, well, what was he doing in Pattaya? We'll get into that. Make sure you give me a like on this and thumbs up on this video. Make sure you share it and subscribe. I appreciate all that in advance. So I was looking at this video, and he was just going over the reasons. He said, these are some of the things that vloggers don't tell you when you move out there. And I had already knew this. Like I said, I've been out there before, but this was years ago. And I said in previous videos that the game doesn't change. Listen, the game does not change. Only thing that has changed is technology and the people. However, these young women, these Gen Zers, you have to go in terms of generations for a second. Let me start there because a lot of people are not talking about this. Okay. You had the silent generation. Let's go in terms of generation. Nobody is really talking about this on a video, but I'm going to break it down to you. And I'm going to break down what a friend of mine said, my old coworker. Each generation is different. You have the silent generation. Then you have the baby boomers. They came after the silent generation. You have the baby boomers. Okay? The baby boomers. And then after the baby boomers, what you have? You have Generation X. Generation X or Gen Xers, that's my generation, aka the latchkey generation. After Gen X, you have the millennials. Okay? After the millennials, you have Gen Z. And after Gen Z, they're not even old enough to be in this discussion yet because the oldest person in the new generation is 12 years old. They're not in the discussion yet. But eventually, years down, within the next 10 years, they will be in this discussion and they will be doing things differently. Remember, life is what you call a revolving process. Okay? Eventually, it leads up to death. After that, I believe that you recycle and come back and do it again. Why do I say that? Because nobody remembers being born. Nobody remembers it, but all of a sudden, you just have consciousness. We all share this consciousness, but in different vehicles. In order to survive, just hear me out for a second. In order to survive on this planet, you have to be in this vehicle called a body. That's how your soul is able to move around and experience life is through a vehicle. So anyway, so we have to look at this in terms of generation. Each generation did things differently, but there's certain things on the baseline that remains the same. What remains the same out in Thailand, you have certain areas where men go and enjoy themselves. That's the baseline. That's been going on since after the war, especially in the coastal town of Pattaya. You know, it used to be like a market area, fish market area. It still is, but they turn it into a party area for GIs to go and enjoy themselves. And it started in the late 50s and really started taking off in the 1960s. Okay. So from 1958, 59 to the 1960s on, it's been going on this way. So there's certain things that haven't changed. That, you know, there's certain things for sale. That has not changed. But the way people go about it has changed. These Gen Zers, they're not playing. They're not playing. They want their money and they going about it a different way. That's why certain expats and certain people, they don't like how things are moving. Even some of the Gen Zers, not just the women out there, even some of the Gen Zers that's going out there to have a good time. They're doing things a whole lot differently. And you have to just either go along and adapt to what's going on or move elsewhere. So that's why a lot of people are moving elsewhere. But here's how people are losing their money. And this is where a friend of mine was talking about. He said these people, he said these Gen Zers, they're going out there losing money too. But he said they're making videos and highlighting the good times they're having out there. They're not highlighting the times when you're bored out there. They're not highlighting the times where you could get addicted to the lifestyle and then lose all your money. He said things might seem cheap out there, but if you do it every day and you're drinking every day, you're going to lose your money. He said you're going to meet somebody, you're going to want to see her again, and next thing you know, your expenses add up, and next thing you know, you don't have any more money. He said there's people out there that literally don't have no more money. And they do have a steady income coming in every month, but as soon as they get it, they're check to check. And once their rent is paid and basic necessities are paid, they're back partying again and they don't have no more money. And they got to go 10 days sometime without food. It's really going on like that out there. Okay, with certain people. And now certain expats are going to say, that's not happening to me, but it is happening to people out there. They're not telling you that you could get addicted to what's going on out there. What's going on out there is it's almost like you're in a different planet. Different rules apply. As long as you have this, certain fantasies that you have can be fulfilled if you have this. Certain fantasies that you have will be fulfilled. Okay, if you know what I mean. Certain fantasies that you have will be fulfilled. Okay, I don't have to tell you that. And it could become, you could be jaded by it. And next thing you know, you think you have it all together at first because you got plenty of money. Before you come out there, you saved a lot of money. He saved a lot of money, right? He saved a lot of damn money. But when he went out there, he ain't got no more money because he's sitting up there spending it fast and this and that. I know people are saying, well, I'm not going to go out there and do that. Hey, man, we all about reality over here. Okay. Imagine coming from a place where, let's face it, it's hard to have physical activity out here sometimes. I mean, people out here worried about hustling. People are worried about hustling, making money out here. It's a hustle and bustle out here. Out there, you can get it right now. You can just go out there and get what you want right now, if you know what I mean, right now. But it comes at a price. You might think the price is not that much. It adds up over the course of 3 days. You ain't got no more money. Next thing you know, whoever you meet, they're having a sob story. Like he told me, he fell for the sob story. Yes, he did. He fell for the okie doke, man. Yes, I need about $1,000. Family is sick, stuff like that. He gave $1,000 to him, and then ain't see her no more. Then he finally see her again, asked for another 1,000. Guys, it happens out there. They're not telling you this. No, some guys are. They're not telling you that some guys out there ain't got no more food in the refrigerator. Now you might think, how you ain't got no more food in the refrigerator where food is cheap out there? They ain't got no more food in the refrigerator, man. They ain't got no more food in the refrigerator, man. It's happening. And the thing is, you fall for the fantasy. You fall for it. But if you go out there and you don't have an addictive personality, you know how to just dial back and chill, you could have the time of your life out there. You can have the time of your life. If you're the type where you're not tender, Dick, that's what I'm going to say. You're not tender. You can have the time of your life out there. Everybody likes to engage in physical activity, but you gotta do it in moderation. Everything in moderation is good. Everything in excess is bad. Remember how your parents used to tell you that? Anything in excess is bad. Moderation is good. Moderation is key. It's the same thing going out there. Let's face it, people going out there to Thailand. They going out there because it's cheap living. I'm talking about the men. They're going out, especially if they're going to Pattaya. We already know what the time it is. I don't care what they say. Oh, we out here. We're looking at the scenery. Yeah, you're looking at the scenery, all right. Oh, yeah, you're looking at the scenery. You damn sure looking at the scenery. That's why a lot of men don't like to be recorded out there. Because they don't want people to know they out there and what they doing. And they might have lied to their old lady at home back in the States or wherever country they from. And they out there talking, I'm going on a business trip. Yeah, you go on a business trip, all right. Yeah, baby, I'll be back in a week. I'm going on a business trip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you going on a business trip, all right. Okay? You going on a business trip, all right. That's why people be beefing about their faces being shown. And they're not talking about, there's just certain things that you miss in the States that you have to pay extra there for. There's certain necessities that you're going to miss, and you got to pay a little extra there. They just say that, yeah, just come here. Everything is cheap and stuff like that. Everything, yeah, it is. But, you get accustomed to a certain lifestyle, even though you're supposed to adjust. If you live there for long enough, you will adjust, but there's just certain things you got to pay extra for. And, he was saying that, a lot of people they come out there and they're broke. He said the main reason is because they get caught up in a situation where their money is just being gone, just gone every month. Every month they have somebody on the payroll, if you know what I mean. Gone. They're not talking about that. Some people, they don't want to admit it. They not see in social media or info media, people like to report on the wins that they have. They don't like to report on their losses. I noticed that because I see the videos. Here's the recipe for these videos out there. All you gotta do is get a hot woman and act like that's your girlfriend and have a couple experience out there. That's how you're gonna get a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Just act like y'all a couple and she's hot, and then make a nice hot thumbnail. That's what they're doing. They're not really showing you the reality out there. They're not. But I know the reality because I've been there. Nothing has changed. Just the people and players has changed, and technology is a little different. But I'm telling you, people out there losing their ass with these women. Okay? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They out there losing their minds. I just saw somebody did a video. He did a video where somebody totally blacked out in Kenya or Nairobi or wherever he was at. Just totally blacked out there. Lucky he didn't get arrested for what he did. People are blacking out there, losing their mind, trying to put their hands on people. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Then also what they're not telling you is people get addicted to alcohol out there. Okay, because all it is bars and party, and you feel like you got to do it every day, and you get burnt out, and next thing you know, you addicted. And then please don't start treating your nose. Please don't start doing that. But there's a lot out there they're not telling you about. Okay, some of these expats are very freaking lonely. So if you don't know how to spend time by yourself, you're going to want to go pay for some happiness, if you know what I mean. And that costs, especially if you're on a fixed income. It's like paying a bill, like at this point, like, okay, you feel obligated. Okay, I got my money. Now I'm ready to go to the soys and go and try to find something. And another thing is what they're not saying is everybody is like they with the same women. That's what I'm looking at. They go to these bars, they with the same women. You could do that here in the United States. But here's the thing. I would say you could do that here in the United States, but I understand why they're doing it. Because it's hard on a man here in the United States. It really is. It's hard. It's hard being a man here in the United States. So I don't knock people going there. I don't even knock people for paying. I don't knock it. I'd rather for people to pay than lose their mind and then clap up a whole school. Okay, if you know what I mean. I'd rather for them to go there and be like Stella and get their groove back than go clap up a school, man. So if that's what they got to do to get the edge off, let them do it. But what I'm saying is 90% succumb and lose a lot of money. They're not coming up there. You would think people are saving a bunch of money and coming up. Because if I was there, I'd be saving thousands of dollars. Okay? It's a Jet2 holiday. You could save thousands of dollars. That's what I'd be like. This is a Jet2 holiday. But it would be for the right reasons. Usually when people say it's a Jet2 holiday, it's something going wrong. But for me, it's a Jet2 holiday, and I'd just be laying back, just saving all type of money. For sure I would. All type of money, man, because the rent is cheap. Okay? The food is cheap. However, with certain groceries, like I said, if you're accustomed to certain things in the United States, some things are going to cost. Some certain things are going to cost. But this is part one of the story. But he said that he got caught up with a female. And she was asking for at least $1,000 a month. He had a living girlfriend, guys, $1,000 a month. I'm talking about not 1,000 baht, $1,000 US a month he was paying her. What you thinking about? What y'all thinking right now? I know what you think. $1,000. He was paying this woman $1,000 a month for her to be with him and wash his clothes and have be a living girlfriend, man. People out there paying for living girlfriends, man. So I thought about this. I asked him, I was like, why would you pay $1,000 a month? He said because he thought at the time he could afford it. He was getting over 5,000 with all his stuff combined. He was getting over 5,000 a month. So let me think about this. He getting over 5,000 a month, and he living in Thailand. He can't come up. He was just tender dick. That's what happened, and that's what happens, guys. He being over 5,000 compensated a month, and he's broke. So he paying her 1,000, and then you after you pay her 1,000, you gotta still live, and she not gonna pay for nothing. So the money is still getting dry. And $1,000, man. I couldn't believe he had to come back to the States. He told her, I'm gonna be back. He ain't been back yet. She still probably think he coming back. She probably got other boyfriends. You know how they do. I saw a article where a young lady out there was asking different boyfriends from around the world to buy her a cell phone, and she sold them and came up, man, bought a house, man. It's that real, man. It's that real. He was paying $1,000. I said, so what did 1,000? Okay, what was she doing? She cleaning the house, giving him, his natural services every night. And he said she was giving him attitude. They were constantly arguing. So you paying $1,000 to be constantly arguing, and you're going broke. She don't want you to go out nowhere because then she wants to go, and you got to pay for that. He's lucky he came back, man, to reset. He lucky he came back to reset because 5,000 out there, you could just be on Easy Street. You could be on Easy Street, man. You don't have to worry about nothing, but you hear that a lot. These guys ain't telling you that they be paying these women to live with them. They be paying them. I'm not paying nobody to live with me. We living alone. I'm living by myself. You living by yourself. We'll see each other every now and then, but I'm not paying you to live with me. Paying to live with them, man. Guys, I digress, man. Paying them to live. Imagine paying somebody to live with you. That's what they were doing. I digress, folks. Buying her all types of clothes, he said. He got her braces, even though she could have got her own braces for $1,000 a month. She could have got her own braces done, but he got the braces for her. Because you know how they do. They get with a woman and then go get her some braces. They do that. It's been going on. I ain't never seen so many women with braces in my life than over there in Brazil. It's craziness. It's cheap to get braces over there. That's why. I think if I was over there, I'd get braces, to be honest with you. But, yeah, man, that's what's happening. It's crazy, man. You would think that these men will learn. But I understand it, man. They get used to it. It's an addictive. You get addicted to these women. You would get addicted to it. You miss it. Because, you can have whatever you want over there, man. But you got to be safe. That's another thing. Guys are not being safe over there and they catching stuff. It's crazy. That's how it is all over the world, though. I would say be safe in doing what you're doing. Always wear your raincoat before you get rained on. But anyway, guys, I was talking to him. I was like, man, what made you come back, though? What made you just say F it and come back? He said, bro, I had to come back because it was getting out of hand. And he just pretty much told her he had to come back and take care of business. And then he just bounced. He didn't come back. Now he's thinking about going to Bali. I said, you're going to make the same mistake in Bali, man. Or Japan. He going to make the same mistake to find somebody to finance their life. Anyway, guys, people over there financing women's lives, man. Drop a comment below. Let me know how you feel, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next story. Peace.